Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the weekly show that describes and talks about the battle between the two brands in WWE, the battle of the brands between Raw and SmackDown. Damian Nelson's in here alongside David Hero. And David, how are you here on this fine Sunday night?
Well, I just finished going to church. I survived.
I'm sorry?
I survived.
I was wondering why those storms were so heavy earlier today.
I drank the water. I didn't burn my throat.
Oh, my.
Lightning didn't strike me down.
Let's get right down to it, folks, and let's talk about this past week's episodes of both Raw and SmackDown, and we share our highlight, if you will, what made the show great or not so great for us, and then we share your poll results, and then we give you a preview of what to look for in the upcoming week on both Raw and SmackDown. So starting with you, David Hero, your highlight of the night from Raw this past Monday night, what did it leave you with?
My highlight, boy. Can it be like a shocking highlight?
It can be whatever your highlight of the night was.
The shining stars go over on Enzo again. I can't believe it.
You really don't like the Carlitos, as you've called them.
No, I called them shining stars this week, didn't I?
You did this week. You've corrected yourself.
Yes.
Good job.
But it was one of the Carlitos beat Enzo, and I could not believe. I was shocked. They've done so much to build up Enzo and Cass. They even had him tag with John Cena. And now they're doing the JOB to...
It was a quick fall for Enzo and Cass. They're certified G. Are you a certified G?
Of course I am.
Would you wear that shirt?
I'm a certified godfather.
I don't think that's what G means in their realm. I think it means more of a gangsta.
No, I'm not a gangsta.
It's not always a bad thing.
I'm a certified good guy.
Are you a baller? Tri-collar?
Sure. Yeah, I do all that stuff. What about you, G?
My highlight of the night on Raw this past Monday night, you know, that is a great question, David Hero. I think it would have to be.
You can answer that question.
I watched the entire of the broadcast of both Raw and SmackDown. I think that it was the main event twist, if you will, because I really thought that Reigns was going to work his way and make it into a three-way matchup between Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens at Clash of Champions.
But if Reigns would have beat Owens, now he's already a paper champ to begin with. Now he's damaged.
You know, as I said on Primetime, I see it. I agree 100% with the way it turned out ultimately. I think Rusev Reigns is a better story than him being a third wheel in that matchup.
Yes.
But I just, that was the highlight for me because I didn't expect that. I thought Reigns would win and end up in the matchup. I thought Reigns would win and end up in the matchup.
Why would you expect that?
Because I thought Reigns would win and end up in the matchup.
But what would make you think that?
Because Reigns is championship material. You said it on Primetime just past Thursday night.
It is.
He's number one in the Pro Wrestling Illustrated rankings this year.
And he sells merchandise and women and kids love him.
And so do I.
Matters. Well, I'm glad you do.
So, all right, those are our highlights from Raw. What about your highlight of the night from Smacky Wacky, the Blue Show on Tuesday?
It was the interaction between AJ, Cena, and Ambrose. I thoroughly enjoyed the direction Cena went with his promo. I liked what Ambrose came back with, and I loved how AJ just stood there with the mic in his hand and a belt over his shoulder like, what is going on here?
You know, it was Wrestling 101, wasn't it, David Hero? It was men fighting for a prize, men showing passion for wanting to win and wanting to get something. You know, it was basic wrestling at its best.
Say what you want about John Cena. He brings that show to a different level. He does.
I did like AJ giving him the headband back when Cena said, I'm here to take what's mine. Oh, here, you can have it back. AJ was never as good as he is now from a promo standpoint, standpoint in TNA.
Back when he was Jeff Jarrett's lackey, and he was the Southern idiot.
Yes, yes, that was good stuff.
He was great.
Yeah, that was good stuff. But yeah, you know, I have to say there were two highlights for me from SmackDown Tuesday night. It was what you said. It was that red hot, if not white hot, open to the show on Tuesday. But it was also the interaction between The Miz, Ziggler, and Daniel Bryan. And quite frankly, The Miz's performance overall on Tuesday night, I thought was stupendous.
The Miz he's elevated his game. He's a top guy now again.
He is a top guy. And you know what's interesting? Those are our thoughts on Raw and SmackDown. If you had to pick a show of the week, though, David Hero, what would your show of the week be? The show of shows.
I thought Raw was solid with Reigns and Owens and Rusev. But it's kind of hard. I mean, but I thought SmackDown was once again a better show.
All right. Well, folks, I gotta agree with that as well. SmackDown gets the win this week, at least from these guys. But what did you say? We asked you on Twitter earlier in the week, of course, our account at Twitter, at PWR Show. We asked you earlier in the week, which show was the better show? Which show was the show of shows for the week? And this week, well, the poll results mimic most every week, with you agreeing with us agreeing with you. SmackDown, 80% of the votes to Raw's 20% this week. SmackDown, the overwhelming favorite amongst the fans.
Imagine what happens when both rosters are healthy. And you have the Finn Balor's and the Randy
SmackDown's got some challenges right now, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, and so does Raw.
If Raw were 2 hours, would it be as lopsided as it has been? Because I think it was 78-22 last week in favor of SmackDown, right? SmackDown's got, I think, 5-6 weeks of wins now to Raw's 2 wins. And Raw got Raw's win weeks were when Balor won, and when Balor didn't win on the show, but when Balor showed up, debuted, and then when Owens won the title. Those were the 2 weeks that Raw won. SmackDown consistently, though, however, we've seen this be the case at times in the past. The show the fans like, especially fans that watch programs like this, is not the most popular show of the 2. However, it may not matter because SmackDown has got more building to do to get to a point than the established Raw does.
Right. And let's not forget they have AJ Styles, who's the top guy in the company.
Yeah. And let's talk about what to expect this week from the programming on both Raw and SmackDown. Raw's got some work to do tomorrow night as they take us home to Clash of Champions coming up Sunday on the WWE Network. What is it that you feel Raw needs to do beyond all else tomorrow night on the USA Network?
They need to have some heat between Owens and Rollins. Why do we want to watch that match? It seems like we've already seen it, but we haven't.
Do we get the Triple H factor tomorrow night on Raw?
I don't believe so.
Do we get the Triple H factor at Clash of Champions, or do you want to save that for Be the Booker?
We'll save that for
coming up Saturday night.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think Raw does need to do just that, David Hero. They need to establish reasons for us to care about this matchup at Clash of Champions. I think it's obvious that Kevin Owens is going to win. But they've got to give me some doubt, I think, tomorrow night on Raw that Kevin Owens is not a shoo-in to walk out of Clash of Champions with the championship. On SmackDown on Tuesday night, they've got some work to do as well, David Hero, but what should they be primarily focused on is they've got a longer time between their upcoming broadcast and No Mercy.
They need to fill in that mid-card. I mean, right now the main event is set with Ambrose, AJ, and Cena. Now you got to do something with Apollo Crews if he's going to be, you know, uneventful, or is he going to be something? You got to find something for Baron Corbin. You know, the tag champs and Slater and Rhino are solid, but they're a placeholder right now.
Are they?
How long is that going to go for?
For the American Alpha to come back. Great scenario for them, though. As we talked about, it's in the case of Finn Balor's injury. People step up.
Tag belts before American Alpha comes back.
Did you like the new outfits last Tuesday? The red and white?
It was interesting.
They used to say heels grow beards. Now heels wear shoes.
I thought that they were like painters.
They looked like
window cleaners.
Was it Los Boricuas? Was that the team?
Yes.
Didn't they look like them a little bit in their clothing?
I didn't want to like racially profile anybody, but yeah, if you want to go that route, sure.
They're Samoan, not Latin.
Doesn't matter.
Folks, we want to hear your thoughts during both Raw and SmackDown, so be sure to follow us and join us on Twitter at PWR Show on Twitter and share your thoughts on the broadcast this week. Also, wow, what a huge first day of sales. The pre-sale was earlier this week. Now tickets officially on sale as of Friday for Shenanigans, a VIP party hosted by Kevin Nash in Orlando, Florida as part of WrestleMania weekend. Go to PWRshow.com for all the details and information on that right now. Did you buy your tickets?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I don't know if you got the message from the office. You gotta buy this. You get a discount, 5%, but.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as soon as I get the corporate Amex, I'll take care of that.
That's canceled after your little. You're
from Dallas still?
No, from Pensacola. You said you went down to officiate a wedding. I don't know when you had time to do the other things you did.
It's a small town. It can cover a lot of.
And everybody's talking about it. Folks, for that one, this is Damian Nelson. Well, enjoy Raw tomorrow night, SmackDown Tuesday night. We'll be back with you with primetime on its new night, Thursday night. Until then, follow us on Twitter at PWR Show to keep up on all the latest goings on in wrestling. We'll see you soon, folks.